November 1939. The German foe begins its ruthless march of conquest and sets the stage for World War II. Poland's 34 million inhabitants, crushed, scattered, and enslaved. Tens of thousands of square miles of territory shrink before the movement of lightning armored columns. Poland and the world learn the meaning of a grim new word, blitzkrieg. Here is shown the initiation of that phase of modern warfare. These pictures of the preparation for attack and later the actual combat were all made by German frontline cameramen.
Hey, we're here at Gamer Sanctuary today. Awesome bolt action battle report. We're going to do the first week of the summer offensive on boltaction.com. So check out our army list here, and basically we're playing Slovaks going into Poland, being fought by a fictional American force defending Poland. So I have here regular, I'm using the Romanian list, and I'm using regular cavalry, they just have rifles, a regular Panzer 30AT, sniper team, and this is proxying as an MMG team. We're using the Bolt Action Season 2 rules, boltaction.net Season 2. I have a medic, I have a first lieutenant. Seems like pretty important when you have regulars. I have a light AT gun, a medium mortar, medium howitzer, and then 4 rifle squads, 8 guys each, with, an LMG and a sergeant with a rifle. So a pretty basic force. Everything's regular. Not really any gotchas. The cavalry can't even assault. So, all right, let's check out the Americans defending Poland. Alright, so Joe's American force is headed up by a first lieutenant. He's got a medic, an MMG, an M3 Stuart, even painted the goggles on his tanker's helmet. That's awesome. He's got an MMG Jeep, 2 squads of rifles, paratrooper rifles, a light mortar, regular engineers with a flamethrower and 2 BARs, a truck I'm guessing to carry them. And then over here, he's got a rifle squad with an LMG and a medium AT gun in ambush.
American parachutists are fighting today from Port Moresby to North Africa. They're trained to battle in any part of the world, in any climate, on any terrain, desert or snow. The training is tough. So is the job. Here's how a fighting paratrooper is made. Our man begins by learning to jump, to tumble, to fall. Here's a machine that builds bodies.
Alright, so that was turn 1. You can see the Slovak Rapid Division has moved up the board here. I've moved into this building on the first floor. These guys are moving around the house. They're moving up the road. I did take some shots at the squad on the bridge. The mortar actually landed its first round, which was always satisfying. I felt bad for Joe. That squad got peppered. They lost a couple guys, 2 guys. The MMG Jeep came on and took some pot shots. I'm sure he'll get some better shots with that guy this turn. The Stewart came on and tried to shoot my observer as well, missing. The sniper over here, he missed some shots. Remember, the goal is to take that objective at the end of the game. That's the only goal. That's it. I do have the MMG up here that's taking some shots at the bridge, and the mortar here. Obviously, I said it ranged in. We have a bunch of stuff coming in from reserve this turn. Let's see what happens. Alright, so turn 2's in the books. Joe brought on 2 squads from reserve, so they're coming up to take the objective. The Stewart in the middle took a bunch of MG hose shots at my guys. I didn't realize he's a recce, so he got away from my Panzer 38T over here. The eagle-eyed mortar observer dropped another round on target and hit the MMG that's in that building. Otherwise, I have a general infantry advance up the middle, trying to get into a good spot so that I can defend the objective. And Joe's guys here have a bunch of pins on, so we'll see what happens to them. Not much else happened that turn. It was a lot of maneuvering. So let's see. Turn 3. Alright, so turn 3. Joe's doing a really good job at putting a ton of threats in the middle of the board. There are veteran engineers, regular engineers inside that truck with a flamethrower. The steward is pushing me around and I can't do anything about it. I did move up my infantry and I did put a pin on the AT gun. They do have a pin on the regular engineers in the truck. These guys are getting pinned out, but Joe's doing a really good job at pushing to the middle to the objective. My cav are still off the board. They're hanging out. And not much else really happened. I mean, I did lose a squad to shooting from the Stewart. They ran off the board, so they're gone.
Oh, did you take your order die away?
Yes. Other than that, things are going to come to a head this turn. I have a feeling this is probably going to be the turn of glory for one of us. Alright, so that was turn 4. Joe pushed up in the middle. It was real hard. The engineers popped out of their truck and flamethrowed my guys and killed all of them. I was unable to hit the broadside of a barn with my tank. And he's moving up over here with these guys. End goal at the end of turn 6, I think you want to have your guys within 3, I think, of the objective. Still have my horses off the board. They decided not to come on this turn. They weren't digging it. So, all right, let's see what happens here. Turn 5. All right, so that was turn 5. I was a little bummed out there for a little bit. I really didn't. Joe had some really good turns, and I had some poor turns. Although my mortar, I mean, I have to say, mortar has been doing awesome. This turn, the medium howitzer took a shot and blew up a squad right there. And the Panzer 38T rolled up the street and finally took out that stupid Stewart.
The anti-tank gun took it out.
Sorry, you're right. The anti-tank gun swiveled on the spot based on the BA.net rules and put around through the case from the tank. Put around through the tank. Not much else happened. My guys went down here to avoid getting shot too badly. Joe has his squad right here. He has the first order die this turn. So let's see what's going to happen. Alright, so that was the end of turn 6. We finished out the game. I was not able to get within 3 of the objective, so Joe held the center and he took the game. At the end, I did try to get my guys up there, but Joe had a run of about 6 dice to whittle down my horsies. And these guys did not activate. These guys did not activate. They rolled too poorly. So it just wasn't enough. I had enough to do something, but it just didn't happen. So check back later for our next bolt action battle report, probably week 2 of the summer offensive, as well as our Gen Con report coming up soon. All right, later guys.